Welcome to the AWE Breakfast Show, featuring Epson. Here's your host, Sean Hannam.
Good morning. Welcome to the AWE Breakfast Show. My name's Sean Hannam. I'm a freelance journalist who specialises in writing about tech, retail and music. And I've been in the consumer electronics industry for 25 years. And I'm your host for today's one-off Epson special. For this morning's session, which will last around 20 minutes, I'm joined by representatives from Epson and AWE. We're focusing on, see what I did there, 4K laser projectors. We'll be finding out about some new and existing products from Epson, looking at why they're ideal for the home integration sector, and talking about some key consumer trends in the market. And we'll also have some top film and TV recommendations. We're really spoiling you today. Now I'd like to introduce my guests. From Epson, we have product manager Paul Wilson and Chris Sullivan, who is account manager for professional displays. And joining us from AWE, we have James Drummy, home cinema product manager. Good morning, guys. Where are you speaking to me from today?
Hi, I'm in the AWHQ in the new performance cinema. In here, we are showing some new Epson projectors. Absolutely fantastic.
It looks very luxurious. I like your seating arrangement.
Yeah, very cozy.
Lights. It looks cool. I thought it was your bedroom for a minute.
I wish.
And what about you guys? Paul, where are you from this morning?
Hi, Sean. I could be anywhere. You wouldn't know from my background, but the way the world is now, I'm actually working from home today. I'm not too far from our head office, which is in Hemel Hempstead, Hertfordshire. I'm just a little bit further away from that, but in the same county.
I like the fact you've got Epson wallpaper at home as well. Very on brand.
It's fantastic. It's actually just spray paint. It comes out like that.
And Chris, where are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm in Ilkley, sunny Yorkshire this morning. Yeah, so I'm at home today, and I've got a couple of the units over my shoulder. You can probably see there. So
you've got the projectors. You've not got the Epson wallpaper. So
no, I couldn't afford
one out there, Chris. Yeah. So we're here to talk about some new products. So let's get straight down and talk about them. So we're going to start with two 4K laser projectors. Now, I'm going to have a go at these model numbers. The EH-LS11000W and the EH-LS12000B, which are both from the Pro Home Cinema range. Now, they're brand new pieces of kit, and they're available to order from AWE now. We must sort of say that supplies have been a bit limited, haven't they, due to ongoing problems caused by COVID. Is that situation going to improve over the coming months?
We certainly hope so, Sean. I think the way the world is at the minute, nothing is predictable. We've faced all sorts of challenges, as have many other manufacturers in many industries. So it's not something unique to Epson. The good news is we have been shipping these products ever since launch, albeit in restricted quantities compared to the demand that we're seeing. But new quantities are coming through every month. And AWE, of course, are seeing the bulk of those and managing to deal with some of the orders. And as the months progress now, as we go through 2022, we do genuinely hope that things will start to return to a more normal flow of product. I won't say 100% normal straight away, but a more normal flow of things. And hopefully we can start to really tackle the demand and then build on the early successes of the range.
So there are two new products. Can you talk us through some of the features and how they differ? Because the 12000B comes in at a slightly higher price point, doesn't it? What does it offer and why is it slightly more expensive?
The differences, the main differences between the two new products that I have over my shoulder, other than the obvious, which is the chassis colour, we've got a price point differential. So in terms of the RRPs, the EH-LS11000W comes in at 4099, the 12000B comes in at 4399. But other than that, subtle differences. Native contrast ratio is different between the two. So you've got 1800 to 1 on the LS11000 and 4500 to 1 on the 12000B. We've got a brightness differential as well. So the 11000 is coming in at 2500 lumens, and then the 12000B coming in at 2700 lumens. And then with the 12000B geared slightly towards the more professional installations, shall we say, we've got things like support for Calman and ISF on board. So if integrators do want to dig that little bit deeper, there is the flexibility to do that within the product. And there's some of the little nifty little tricks within it as well. The 12000B now has on board geometric correction. So things like quick corner pinning and point correction can be accessed on the 12000, which you couldn't have on the 11000. That's something that's really sort of translated across from our Pro range of projectors. So they're really the key differences between the two products.
And both models are HDR10 plus capable products as well, aren't they? So can you tell us a little bit about that? Why is that important?
Yeah, it's a new standard obviously on the market, so we've not had new products come to launch in a few years. So obviously these are the kind of standards that as you do bring out a new product, there's certain tick boxes that you need to be there to support.
Yeah.
People will debate the benefits of HDR on projection till the cows come home, but we're there to support the content that's there. And obviously with laser, with the contrast ratio we've got on these products now, you can actually handle HDR in a fairly impressive way, given the right setup. So yeah, it's just bringing the products up to date with all the latest industry standards.
And I know both models use Epson's 3 LCD technology, which we've talked about before, but can you, as a reminder in a nutshell, can you tell us a little bit about 3 LCD and what it offers?
Well, let me take that one, as I've been talking about it for 12 years. Yeah, it's our own technology. You know, this is developed by Epson. It's the only technology we've ever had in our projectors. It's probably one of the strong reasons why we are the world's #1 projector manufacturer. 3 LCD really means that you're creating all of those primary colors, red, green and blue elements of the image on screen at the same time. So everything that you're putting into the projector in terms of light, you're getting out the other end. So the red, green and blue elements add up to the white light that you might see on other specifications. So we'll always state the standard ANSI lumens brightness, which is historically based on white light, but also we'll state a color light output rating, which for any 3-chip projector essentially is going to be the same as the white light. So it's just showing the efficiency of the system, means we can have bright punchy colors on screen. And because the colors are not sequential, you don't have the risk of suffering from any of the dreaded rainbow effects that many people are susceptible potentially on a single chip projector.
Okay, so the new products are all about allowing consumers to enjoy the kind of big screen experience at home. So how can I deliver that? What's special about them? Can you talk us through some of the kind of benefits? So I know we've got, you know, image quality, high contrast ratio, deep blacks, that kind of thing. So give us, you know, some idea about what these products can offer, what sort of specs they've got and the benefits.
Well, there's a few things, Sean. I mean, the obvious headline specs are around the fact that we've got a laser light source on board. So this is the first product we've had in the Pro Home Cinema range since the LS10000, which we launched back in 2014. We actually probably view the LS12000 as its successor. Back then, it was a really popular product. I still get asked for that now.
Okay.
The main criticism of that product back then was it wasn't quite bright enough and it was a little bit too big. Well, we've addressed that with the 12000B. And as I say, at 2,700 lumens and a footprint which is very similar to in fact, slightly smaller than the existing 9400, it's a lot more usable and the performance is a lot better. The other differences between the older range, the older products, is that we've got what we call dual axis pixel shift on this. So it's a delivery mechanism in which we're able to get the desired 8.3 million pixels onto a screen, onto a canvas, and therefore, you know, it handles 4K particularly well. I think from a gaming perspective as well, it's that's worth touching on. We had a professional independent calibrator come into head office about 6 months ago and basically give the EH-LS12000B the once-over. One of the big plus points that came out of that was that it had a particularly low latency. We're talking in and around 20 milliseconds, which for a projector is extremely good. So from a gaming point of view, you know, your next generation gaming consoles, it's perfect for that. Perfect for users around that.
Yeah. Also, it can handle films in the right aspect ratio, which is important as well, because certain people want to watch certain films in different formats, don't they, as well?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then you've got the obvious benefits of the laser light source as well: instant on, instant off, the better contrast ratios that affords and allows, and obviously not having to replace lamps and bulbs, however often you need those.
We also want to highlight another product in the Pro Home Cinema range that's available from Epson and AWE, the EH-TW9400. And it's not a brand new product, is it? When did it come out?
Yeah, it's one of probably the longest standing projector in the Epson range these days across everything. So that, yeah, to be able to have a product that is 3-4 years old now, that is still so popular, shows that we did get it right when it launched. The specs on that product for the price point that it sits at, there is nothing else really around to match that kind of spec for the money. So it still gives you an absolutely cracking image. It's 4K enhanced with the single axis shift on there. So it's still pretty up to date in terms of what it can do. Yeah. But for the lower price point, you know, if you're not obsessed by moving towards laser or having a native or dual shift 4K product, then actually it's still a fabulous product. The image quality, all the optical capability, motorized optics are on there as well. Of course, again, supply has been really difficult for a period of time, but we expect to have some new stocks coming through probably from May onwards, and we continue to run that product, and it's very much in our lineup for the next 12 months or so at least.
And that's a 4K Pro UHD model, isn't it? Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the labeling of it. So again, we've got the single axis shift on there, so it can handle a 4K input, and it can use the native 1080p panel with a single shift to double the resolution on screen. So the difference versus the new laser products is you're getting kind of 4 million pixels on screen, distinct pixels, whereas the LS11000, 12,000, you're then getting the full 8.3 million pixels for 4K. So there is a difference, obviously, in quality, but there's a difference in price point, and it's just about having an expanded range as well. So installers have got a bit more choice to offer to customers because everybody's budgets differ as well.
Now I'm going to widen the focus. Oh, I've done it again.
Very nice, Sean. Very nice.
That's why they pay me the big bucks, isn't it? Now we're going to look at the bigger picture. Oh, two in a row.
They keep coming.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Now I like to talk about some of the trends in the projector market. So in general, so what are consumers buying and what are they looking for when it comes to a projector for the home?
Well, where do we start with that one, Sean? I mean, through COVID times, we saw a lot of consumers looking to improve the house. So media rooms, cinema rooms were popular. I still think that is the case. Mm-hmm. I think the issue with supply chains has probably muddied that because we're still seeing high demand from our side. So whether that's artificially high or not, I guess time will tell as things start to settle down, as we get more stock through. We also saw a lot of the garden cinema type projects this time last year, or for the last 18 months, mainly because people were using the gardens a lot more. We had a decent summer as well. Whether that happens this year or not remains to be seen. We've seen a lot more on the ultra short throw side as well. I mean, we don't look after that. That doesn't necessarily sit with us, but from a consumer point of view, the ultra short throw laser projectors have also gone well for Epson. But yeah, we're still going great guns. We're still selling a lot of product. We just wish we could have a little bit more to sell.
Yeah. I want to talk about the COVID effect slightly. You touched on it earlier. Obviously, people were locked down. People had more disposable income because they weren't going on holiday, and they weren't going out for meals. So they invested in their home, in their AV kit in some cases, and home office as well, obviously. Are you worried the market's going to slow down? I was going to ask for your future projections. See, I've done it again. Mm-hmm. What's the market heading? What's your kind of gut feeling for the next few months? Are you worried that things could slow down now that people are going out again?
I'll answer sort of briefly, touching on what I mentioned previously, Sean. It's a difficult one to answer. I think I'm not worried that things will slow down, but until we have more stock coming through, it's probably difficult to answer that accurately. And actually, probably AWE are in a better position to answer that from their side. I know Stuart and the guys had a booming year last year, and they were looking at ways to try and replicate that this year. But so far, demand is still outstripping supply.
Yeah, that sounds like a good point to bring in James Drummy from AWE. So, James, can you tell us a little bit about your relationship with Epson and AWE, and we're going to talk about where we can see these products being demonstrated, the new products as well.
We've actually been dealing with Epson since we opened our first reference cinema. Was that 8 years ago, maybe 9 years ago? And we've gone through various changes, and as you can see, our new performance cinema has been completely renovated. And in here, it's actually the 12,000 that we've got on demonstration. And we're actually doing it on a scope screen, so you can see that picture position changing in here as part of the demonstration. It's actually really easy for integrators to bring their customers here. In fact, we'll put a link in the description. You just fill out the form and then book in a slot, and then we can do demonstrations for you and your customers.
Okay. And the products are going to be ISE, aren't they, as well?
Yeah, very much so, Sean. Paul and I will be out there for the duration of the week. It's still TBC, but we believe we will have a cinema box, for want of a better word, a dark room within the middle of the stand, and the LS12000B will be in there. Paul and I will be around, and we'll be looking to meet with integrators. The guys from AWE as well will be on hand, so we'll be looking to schedule meetings throughout that week to talk them through the products.
thanks to Paul and Chris from Epson and for James from AWE. I think we're in no doubt that the projector market has a very bright future.
Check out more videos below and support our channel by hitting the like button. If you want any of our latest videos, please remember to subscribe and check the bell icon so you'll get notified whenever our new content is released. Please leave any thoughts or questions in the comments section. Thanks for watching.